Not everybody was satisfied with Sony's state of play yesterday, and they had a lot of complaints with a lot of games not being shown that they wanted to see. But honestly, I don't know if I care anymore. They showed a game at this event that I'd never seen before, and it was looking amazing. You're looking at it right now. Metal Eden, made by the same developers of Ruiner, a twin-stick top-down shooter with a very similar cyberpunk aesthetic, but a bit grittier than this, I think. It's kind of like a nice combination between Doom, cyberpunk aesthetic, and like Ghost Runner. Those three games all mashed up together, and it's just amazing. It looks really clean. Yeah, this was the game that was shown that everybody thought was Marathon by Bungie until we saw the developers at the end. And honestly, this was one of the best games that I've seen in a long time. I'm extremely excited to play this game. When I first started looking into this, I didn't immediately recognize the name of the development team, Team Reikon. This developer on their art team seemed to always know how to get it right. They have an amazing art direction here and a really clean, slightly cel-shaded aesthetic, which just blends realism and a bit more animated aesthetic. I think it looks visually, this is like one of the best looking games I've seen in a little while. Like, this kind of gives me Returnal vibes almost. I think it's not quite on that spectacle or scale in terms of like futuristic aesthetic. It looks really interesting. The story seems to be kind of similar to their first title that they made. Someone's talking to you in your ear and you got to get somewhere to do something. The gameplay loop and the gameplay style and perspective is all different. And I think that the last game that they made was with Unreal Engine 4. This time they're taking a crack at Unreal Engine 5, and it seems to be flawless. It looks like they really used a lot from their last game to help them make the game that they really wanted to make. I mean, even the different gameplay sections, hopping from rail to rail, shooting and taking out flying enemies that are mobile. The gameplay set pieces do look really clean. The guns look really good. They sound satisfying. They feel like they've got nice impact, right? The abilities that it looks like that you can use are interesting and fresh, and there's just so much great stuff going on here. I'm just hoping that the gameplay loop can stay varied and that there's going to be a lot of different ways to progress through the waves of enemies to where it can, stay entertaining and doesn't get stale over the course of the gameplay. All right, so some things that I'm a little worried about. Now, their last game was a twin stick shooter, top down. It was a smaller game, all right, but you could beat that game in about 4 hours or so. All right, and this is still a bit of an independent team. I know they were on Sony's stage and everything, but they are a smaller team. I don't think that they have the biggest budget in the world, so I can't imagine that the length of the game is going to be too much longer. If we can get at least a good 8 to 10 hour campaign, that would be fantastic. It doesn't look like, I doubt there'll be any kind of multiplayer or anything like that, which is totally fine. I don't think every game needs it. This isn't one that I would necessarily care for, but I want to be able to get the kind of longevity and enjoyment that I get out of games like Doom, and I feel like that's kind of what they're going for here. And so far, it's just looking absolutely amazing. They're doing a great job using Unreal Engine 5. They're getting everything that they want out of it, so that works out really well too. The last game, Ruiner, that they put out came out on a lot of systems, including the Nintendo Switch. It looks and runs great on that console. That's where I played it and picked it up. I honestly picked that game up just off the dope aesthetic alone, and the gameplay did look good, but the bright colors and cyberpunk aesthetic really drew me in, right? And the game was great, so that's fantastic. I'm really hoping that this game does make its way to Switch 2. Obviously, I don't think this Unreal Engine 5 first-person shooter is going to run very well on Switch, but I do think Switch 2 more than likely can run a game like this, and I'm praying and hoping. I'm messaging the devs on Twitter, please bring this game to Switch 2. I would love to play a game like this portably on my TV, and it would be great. I don't think it should be too hard. It's not like this large scale open world with large waves of enemies appearing on screen. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's very similar to Doom. You get to an area, you get locked down, you can't leave, you have to beat all the waves of enemies and survive. Again, the last game that they brought out, they did bring to Switch. I don't think that, Switch 2 would be off the table for a game like this. This game's coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. No last gen systems, which is all right. That's totally fine. But again, they brought their last game over to Switch, and I would really love a game like this to show up on Switch 2. And I honestly think it's very more than possible, very more than likely. The game comes out May 6th this year. By then, the Switch 2 would have fully been announced. Third-party games would have been announced. Maybe we can get a bit more of a confirmation closer to April. Either way, I'm playing this game day one. I'll pick it up again on Switch. This game looks great, and if it plays great on my PC, I'll pick it up and I'll play it again on Switch 2, just to support the devs, because this game looks great. So let me know what y'all think about this game. Do you think it could come to Switch 2, and how well do you think it would run, and how well do you think it would look? I think it would be fine, but let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.